Welcome back to Crypto Lodge podcast
All right.
for Monday, July 27th, 2021.
January. It's a couple months off, man.
Yeah, we got to give YouTube some time to catch up here. It has a little
man.
lag.
Some people will probably still hope it was January right before the bull run.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Some interesting stuff to talk about today, man. This is just really. I kind of find it really hilarious what's happening. The thing is, and I was watching James from Invest Answers earlier today, and he made a great point. A lot of people who are saying, oh, Bitcoin's going down to, lower prices, and they're calling out certain prices, and it doesn't. All of a sudden, they started saying, oh, no, we're bullish again. We're bullish again. We're going up. We're going up past 40. We're going to 50. We're going to moon and all this stuff. And it's like, you know what? Like, a lot of these folks, you gotta like just not listen to them. Because there are a ton of influencers out there that just don't stick to what they originally said.
Right.
And if you're bullish on this run, then just stay bullish.
Bullish.
What's your long-term bigger picture all about, right? So I've always said I was bullish. Short term there could be some small bearish drawbacks and stuff like that, but I think in a market like this, it's always going to be volatile, but we're looking always end of year or beyond.
I'm looking a couple years ahead.
Exactly.
And here's what's been happening. The market's been trending down.
Yeah.
It's just on a downtrend. There's lower highs,
lower lows. Yeah.
And we keep on hitting the same low. We just keep bouncing. We're not going any lower than, what is it? I don't know, some point. But we're in a descending wedge. Mm-hmm. And today, or yesterday, it was approaching the top of that wedge. And I remember saying, hey, this is gonna bounce down from here. Yep. And then the Amazon rumor came out, and it broke above the wedge. And then I was saying,
short squeeze.
This is gonna have to come back down.
Yeah.
And then later that day, Amazon comes out and says, they pretty much say,
Oh my God. This is why you don't act on emotion, man.
I went on YouTube today on my TV, and my feed was full of videos saying the bear market's over. The bear market's over. And just take a look at the charts.
Yeah.
Let me pull up a chart.
Yeah, man. I think we're gonna be trending sideways for a little bit. I don't think right now it's in the cards to be seeing a full-on bullish return. I think right now we're going to see a pullback. Yeah, look at that. I mean, we haven't even broken past the high before. Look at that. Yeah.
That's a downtrend.
Yeah.
What is that? In all honesty, we're probably going to come back down to keep hitting that downtrend.
What is that? Like May, June? June? Is that last peak in June? Or is that? Yeah. Yeah, we haven't even broken that.
No.
So it's like.
No, we did on the. I thought we did on the minute, but I guess we didn't. No. Yeah, we didn't even break that.
Yeah, it's like. We got to go past like 42K, I think, for us to really say we're going back, to where we started. That, like, if we're not even breaking that, it's not even worth it.
Well, for us to, what is that? For us to actually break the trend, we're going to need to start putting in higher highs and higher lows.
Yeah.
Basically the opposite of what's happening now.
Now, look, we could be wrong. This could bounce
It could
back.
be wrong.
This could bounce back because every time
yeah.
there's a technical analysis of this crap,
Right.
it's just like, oh, it decides to do the opposite. So we could be wrong.
To do the opposite. You're exactly right. We could be wrong.
But
and that's why it's good to always hold. That's one of the good reasons to always hold, because you can't. You're going to lose 9 times out of 10. You try to predict the market.
Right.
So always holding, if you're not looking to get rich tonight, is always a good idea.
Right. And that's really the key thing, right? That, you know, getting rich is not exciting when you're investing. It's not. You go to the casino if you want to get rich quick. You know.
I don't know.
It's really high risk, really high reward at the casino, right? That's why we got a whole bunch of crap coins that are on the market right now that people are trying to pump and dump. But you know, you're investing in something like crypto. Yes, you're going to see way better yields and returns in crypto, but it's not going to be something that necessarily does overnight, even though it's going to probably be a lot quicker than something like stocks. You just got to remember that, you know, really the way I seen it all over the place, unless you're a genius at trading, just dollar cost average, man, and just work over time a little bit each paycheck, whatever you got, whatever you're doing. That seems to be really the best way, because the whole market, if you zoom out, is on an overall uptrend. So you know, it just looks really good for the long term here.
Bull markets make you money, bear markets make you rich. So that's true. Advantage. We should be. What was I saying? All my live streams, while the bull market was in full swing, I always said I love these I love red days.
Yeah, blood in the streets.
Yeah, I always said I wish we would drop. I wish we would drop, because I know where it's ultimately headed.
Exactly. Right. And this is the point of accumulation that we all need to be looking forward to. You know, a lot of people are they're scared of the volatility. That's why we get a lot of fear in these markets. And a lot of people, that's why we get the quote of Warren Buffett flying around, you know, when others are fearful, be greedy and all that stuff. I've seen that like countless times on the YouTube channels out there. And it's like, you know, there's a good point for that, you know, and that's and it's just to be not so emotional about, you know, your funds when you're in crypto. If you put your funds into crypto, you got to be like ready to ride the roller coaster. Like, this is not something that's going to be very stable, especially in the short term. You know, you're going to see a lot of ups and downs, and you're going to be like, oh my God, that's a lot of money I lost. But you never really lose until you actually sell. So just let it ride.
Coinbase used to give away, when Coinbase opened in, I forget when, but they gave away $10 worth of Bitcoin. And that $10 today is worth like $27,000 or something.
Yeah, Coinbase has been around for a long time.
Yeah. So don't, you know, buy the. I look for the coins that I believe in. Not even my belief. I look for the coins with the best technology, and I still contend that the trend is going to be and is proof of stake blockchains. It doesn't have to be proof of stake. It just has to be faster, cheaper, more secure, decentralized. It needs to have the whole quad, you know, triad, the decentralization, security, and speed, as well as free, you know, basically free.
Yeah, that's really important. Centralization really kills crypto.
Yeah,
you know?
it's against the manifesto of crypto.
So to speak.
It's against the white paper. It's against what everything's all about. And there goes AXS, the biggest mover in the hour again. Let's see how much it moved this hour.
EGD.
AXS.
Yeah, you do. You're making a great point, man. Because the more time in it that I spend, and I've learned a lot from being around Crypto Lodge, right? It's one of the few places that has a really great community of like-minded individuals who are intelligent, who really speak thoughts and ways of moving around how to manage being in crypto. Just what is the mentality?
Right.
If you want to surround yourself with people who are like-minded in that manner and have the same visions. And we're a small community, but we're really really tightly knit, and I love that about Crypto Lodge. So learning from this community of wonderful people, managing my emotions, my funds, my habits, my security, my really securing the future of my investment. It was actually because of Crypto Lodge that I decided to get into cold storage and learn really the intricacies of what does it mean to secure your own assets. Because when I first started, I thought like Zilliqa, with ZillPay, like I had to link my debit card to ZillPay in some way in order to get Zilliqa, but no. You start from knowing nothing to understanding how all these things work, and you devote your time and your efforts, and you learn about the good projects that are out there that are really building something with amazing fundamentals.
Amazing.
Amazing
There's some amazing
fundamentals.
projects out there. Yeah.
And something really resonated to me also today while watching a lot of these influencers out there. You've got many influencers that talk about certain projects, or they shill a coin and this kind of stuff, and I'm not going to name any, but there are so many out there.
Yeah.
And you realize that unless it's been developed by a rigorous team that has created tremendous value with either the technology or its vision to really disrupt a market, you're playing with fire. There's a reason why Chainlink is still around. There's a reason why you've got Ethereum, Cardano, and all these projects. Like they're not exciting projects in the short term, but they're exciting as hell for the long term.
Yeah.
10 years from now, you're going to be like, God dang, not
Yeah.
financial advice, but God dang, this was a awesome ride. You know what I mean? So you gotta get out of your head this whole, oh, I'm coming into crypto because I'm going to be rich overnight. That's not what it is.
I'm really bullish on Ethereum.
Me too. Me too.
And DeFi, synthetics, Aave, Compound, Maker, all the DeFi protocols DeFi is amazing. And all these great blockchains that we're so bullish on, like Phantom and Solana and Luna and Harmony, they're all interoperable with Ethereum DeFi. So all the DeFi being built right now on any blockchain, it's amazing.
Yes.
And I think Ethereum is going to get a lot better, a lot faster than people think it will.
I think you're really onto something there too, because earlier in the year, we were talking about contenders to Ethereum. We talked a lot about Cardano. We talked a lot about, even Polkadot, Kusama, and, Avalanche and stuff like that. These are amazing blockchains.
Algorand.
Yeah. And we're not going to see, I don't think we're going to see a one winner takes all type of thing here in the space. I think what we're really going to see is a really interoperability between them. Ethereum being the home base for a lot of it. There's no reason. Yeah. There really is no reason to remove Ethereum from the top. That's
So,
fine. It's okay that Ethereum, because Ethereum's been here for the longest as terms of smart contracts. It's been the longest running cryptocurrency. Ethereum can be that. That's great.
yeah. Well,
Let
Ethereum's going to be one of the blocks.
yes.
It's going to be one of the many blockchains that all talk to each other. And it's going to be amazing. So the projects I look for are dirt cheap right now. Nobody's
Yeah.
picked them up. No, everyone wants Ethereum and Bitcoin. But the projects I'm looking at, Phantom,
Oh my God.
Harmony,
Yeah.
ticker ONE,
Yep.
Terra Luna, LUNA.
Love Terra. Oh my God. What an amazing project. And here's the thing. You're talking about layer one solutions.
Yeah.
And that's really key. I think Solana,
I'm
right?
talking about coins. There's
No.
a difference between coins and tokens.
Yes.
Tokens are alt coins. They're a child coin of a parent blockchain.
Yes.
Coins are native tokens, and that's
Yes.
an interesting thing about Cardano. All of their quote unquote tokens are going to have all the same features of a coin with native token.
It's just an amazing thing that I think, right? It would be silly, right, to ignore the rise of alts, because alts are going to be what support much of the interoperability of different types of industries. Like Bitcoin can't really do anything. It's really just a store of wealth. Ethereum can, but it's a little bit too slow. But it's got first, finder's fee, so to speak, right?
Has
It's
the
been
network
around
effect,
first.
has first mover advantage,
Exactly.
and it has the network effect.
So we're gonna see a lot of tokens on Ethereum that are trying to do that, sort of create for different industries, but it's nothing like creating an entirely different coin that has its own blockchain and its own efficiencies and its ability, right, to be able to talk with other blockchains like Ethereum or Cardano or Avalanche. That's going to be the key.
That's going to be the key.
That's the key, because the moment you can say, okay, a project that is, built on something, let's say like Polkadot, that has its own efficiencies and all this kind of stuff, but you want that to talk with an Ethereum project or a Cardano project, and now they can exchange data. That could be NFTs, that could be just swapping currencies, whatever it is, dexes, doesn't matter. The whole idea that not everybody has to fight for number one is going to elevate the entire space.
Yeah, it's not a competition.
Right. We're all working together here. This is the people's space.
It's a friendly competition.
Yeah.
It is a competition. Everyone wants to make the best blockchain, but it's a friendly competition in that every blockchain's trying to be all inclusive so that all blockchains can work with my blockchain. So I'm interoperable with everyone who wants to cooperate. What is it? I think it's Cosmos, the Cosmos SDK, Atom, ATOM. That's a good project because they actually have an interoperability framework that other cryptocurrencies can implement into their blockchain to allow them. So any blockchain that implements the Cosmos SDK can now interact with each other.
Right. Cosmos is an amazing blockchain. I will say this. I feel as though their tokenomics are a little bit iffy. Although the concept of what Cosmos is bringing is groundbreaking. Mm-hmm. And it's what influenced a lot of other projects to follow in suit. Right?
There's a whole lot of popular projects that have implemented the Cosmos SDK.
Yeah. And I think overall, like in many things in life, there's going to be a sense of Darwinism and all this kind of stuff. Blockchains are going to duke it out, and eventually at some point you'll find one. There are competitors that can't really share the same space in whatever niche it is, and there will be fights that people will lose. That's just a given, right? We see it already now, but the long term for a lot of these bigger plays, when you're talking about like whole entire industries, like why cannot Illuvium, Engine, Axis, Sand, Mana live in the gaming community? Why can't they all live together?
They
right?
can. Yeah.
Exactly.
They're gonna.
That's what I'm talking about.
When the internet was created, it wasn't just AOL.com.
Exactly.
We don't just use AOL.com and that's it forever. AOL, like I look at each cryptocurrency as like a different website.
Right.
They all provide a different service, a different thing. Like look at the one I just covered. I think I covered the Mask. It allows you to be anonymous but still participate in Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
And they're adding more. That's cool. That's a use case.
Cool.
Look at what do you think of? What's your thoughts on Gitcoin?
Gitcoin, haven't done too much research into it, so I can't really say all my thoughts on it. But I like the idea that there's a sort of I think it's a currency to sort of help promote like GitHub. Is that correct? Or like
I'm gonna
transact
pull it up right
with.
now.
I haven't personally done too much research into Gitcoin, but I'm aware of kind of what it's supposed to do.
Well, it's under 100 million market cap, nice and low. It's down 666. That's a good sign, isn't it? and the price is 6.6.
It's the eye of the witch.
So it's actually pretty interesting. It's a new coin. It was only created, let's see, back on
in
May 25th it was created.
Yeah, brand new.
Yeah, and really didn't have a dump.
Yeah.
Like most new coins have a dump.
It's kind of floating where it started right now.
It's on an uptrend as of recent. I definitely put a lot of it in my bag.
Nice.
It's on an uptrend as of recent, especially today, and then it's gonna come back down because just kidding, it was a rumor. We're not actually getting Bitcoin on Amazon. But anyways, here's Gitcoin. It's basically, bounties.
It's awesome.
You can build Web3 ecosystems and get paid to do it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
There's another project that's all about workers industry too, which is Hive. I'm very, very bullish on these kinds of projects that are trying to make the workplace more of incorporated in blockchain. I love that. HYVE.
I don't think I've heard of this one.
This one's kind of like the Upwork or Fiverr of crypto.
Okay, it's 4 million market cap, BSC and Ethereum.
Yep.
Here's the source code. It's like Fiverr.
Yeah, it's like the Fiverr of crypto.
That's not page not found there, but the Fiverr of crypto sounds cool to me. Hive and Hive Protocol, decentralized autonomous task marketplace. That's great.
Check this thing out, man.
Hiring is broken. We're not touching that with a 10-foot pole. We're building it from scratch. Hive, a DeFi-centric autonomous ecosystem built on top of a multi-billion workforce industry, and it's huge.
They actually just recently got an award for their technology. I forgot exactly who represented it, but it was very, very, very cool that they're getting recognition already. Um,
It says Hive is a community-governed ecosystem that solves the current problems in the global multi-billion freelance and workforce market, leveraging the power of decentralized technologies while adding new features and mechanics that are non-existent on a current platform. Upwork is huge.
yep.
Upwork is massive. Did they name it something else? I think I still call it Upwork.
Upwork is still Upwork. I know there's another one I think called Indeed.
Now, Upwork used to be called something else.
Oh, before Upwork? I don't know.
It was called Odesk.
Odesk.
Yeah, I've made a whole. I still make a lot of money on Upwork. I've been using Odesk since like 2012.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's a huge market.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now having the ability to get rewards in crypto for that is, I
Yeah,
think, amazing.
yeah, that's why I like Gitcoin too, because it
Yeah,
incentivizes building.
exactly. That's why I brought it up to me, because it's like this is a thing that people can, get together as sort of, either in sort of like a freelance way, um, build projects, get rewarded for it, and you'll see a lot of people flocking to make money by offering their services on doing something like this.
Yeah,
Kudos.
yeah. Kudos is a way in Gitcoin
Yeah,
to just gifts you can give to somebody.
that's pretty awesome. I like that. It's kind of like achievements in a sense, or
Yeah,
but
this is
yeah,
the
just
this is
gifts.
the kicker. This is what makes Gitcoin the grants. It's the Web3 Foundation, and they have a lot of money. The Web3 Foundation is responsible for Polkadot
Right.
and a lot of things in the internet. They pretty much create standards. So we need a blockchain standard. You know,
Yeah.
they made the HTML, CSS syntax standards, JavaScript standards, all sorts of server standards, and
That's important, man. That's
yeah,
part of like I don't want to call it regulation, but it is definitely going to discern what's a good project and what's not. It's going to help people. There's so many, shit coins out there right now that are just totally, like, we got so many like dog meme coins
yeah.
this past bull run that distracted so many people from what was actually important. So that's a good thing.
That's why I like this. Look at this pages and pages of tons of money for all these different projects, and anybody can help fund it.
That's awesome.
Anyone can help fund it. These are basically ICOs.
Yeah.
Some of them, others, don't have a coin, but these are things needed for the Web3 ecosystem, which we need because we're in the dark ages of the internet. We're relying on a couple entities who are our overlords, and they're our gatekeepers. They get to decide.
Yep.
They get to decide if we even get a voice.
These are centralized companies.
Yeah,
Google, Twitter, Facebook. They all nobody's denying what they've brought to the table and changed the world. That's not what we're
well,
saying. What we're saying though is
we're
that
the product. We're the
yeah,
product, and we should be making that money. If you want
of
our,
course. Yeah.
they get away with it by offering us free services, but they're not free. They're charging us our data and our attention.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That is exactly right. And
Our fears and dreams.
Yeah, I mean, people like, you look at it this way, we're kind of like, you know, chickens in a farm, and we're just being fed these breadcrumbs to distract us from thinking, oh, we're living on a farm, we're not living in the wild on our own,
Yeah.
So same thing with, pigs in a stock, it's just nobody wants to be that, and when people start diving into decentralized finance or decentralized anything in this community, they start opening their eyes. This is a real enlightening moment for the world right now. What's
Yeah.
happening, where people are realizing that, holy crap, we actually have a chance at putting things in our own hands. Like that's unheard of before. We've never seen that in human history. We've seen a lot of rebellions in human history. We've got everything from the French Revolution all the way back, and all this kind of stuff, and so many more types of revolts against a system, right? And were it not for, I mean, I am, are you kidding me? I am so glad to be alive during this time to see this revolution.
Yeah.
This
This is
is this
awesome to
is the
watch.
most exciting revolution in humanity. I really believe that. Blockchain is taking humanity from being it's like we were, like you're saying, we were living in the dark ages. And
Yeah.
we're now like being shown like the renaissance of science, of technology in the 21st century. And God knows what it's going to be like in the next 50 years with this technology. It's going to be a completely different world. And what we've known before, growing up in, like, for me, it was the 90s and seeing VHS tapes and, you know, Super Nintendo and these kinds of
Yeah.
environments, and growing up, seeing the birth of MySpace and Facebook and all this kind of stuff. And now we see how that's all affecting, how people are being controlled. And
I think that MySpace gave people more individuality. You got to express yourself. You got to put music on
yeah,
your page and images and customize it.
amazing.
Facebook came in and said, no, everybody needs to be in the same little box, and there's no customizing anything at all. And I always found that a little unsettling. How we as people just decided to flock to the platform where we're just inside a little box and gave up all that creativity. Is MySpace even there? I don't even know, because everyone switched to Facebook.
Yeah.
But those were the days where I had my favorite
Yeah,
song playing when you come to my page.
that's right. I do
Yep.
remember those. Yeah. You could customize the HTML code, the colors of your page, and all that kind of stuff. Reminds me also of back in the day, there was Zanga and whatnot, and you were able to do that. And yeah, no, Facebook, you're totally right. Right? We just kind of went for a more sterilized uh, place where everything was.
Made out of tiki tack.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was the idea that there was more connectivity in terms of personal information to find people and stuff like that. I think that's what won it over. Um, but at the same token, it's like it really did. It dried out a lot of individuality.
Yeah, it really
And
did.
we're seeing, um, people start to express themselves more. I think, a platform like Instagram has a lot of potential for that. You because it's all pictures now, right? So it's
Right.
you can post the kinds of pictures you want to really show and whatnot. And Twitter's a little less restricting on that too. I think you have a little bit more freedom of speech in Twitter too. But
But
um,
there's no place where you can make your own little custom page anymore.
that's the thing. MySpace really was the last bit of that. So
Yeah.
I think we'll see. Maybe I don't know if it's going to be something like Mask, but Mask is more about anonymity. But
Yeah.
um, I think whoever successfully makes makes a decentralized social media page or site or blockchain. I think that's going to be a huge thing. I don't think we've seen that yet.
There's a couple of them doing it. They're not big. Most of them aren't going to be successful as all crypto projects.
Yeah.
There's also a couple projects doing a decentralized version of YouTube, which I'm extremely interested in and I'm following deeply for personal reasons. Theta looks like the one, and actually the co-creator of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
When they sold out to Google, they got a lot of money, and he took his money and decided to make a decentralized version of YouTube. Pretty much, they're making a lot of deals with sports venues, gaming, competitions.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about something like Theta is Theta doesn't have to compete. Theta can just be integrated.
Right.
Like Google is actually a one of the big validators on Theta.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not against them. They love it because they're like, hey, we've got all these servers. It costs a lot. Why don't we cut down on cost and manage it on Theta? That's great. They've got a portion of that happening right now.
That's why I love Gollum when I looked into Gollum, because Gollum, if you anyone listening, Gollum.network is the website. They proved to the world that it is cheaper and faster and more secure to run cloud servers on the blockchain rather than using Amazon AWS or Google Cloud like everyone else. Even the Pentagon has these big billion-dollar deals with Amazon and Google Cloud to host data and run servers. But it's cheaper, faster, better, more secure on the blockchain. So it's definitely heading that way, because that's just the free market at work. Whatever's cheaper and better is going to win. Even though it's niche right now, and even though there's a lot of clout around crypto and stigma, that's what's holding us back, right? It's the stigma. It's the lack of legal clarity that's keeping most investors out. And it's projects getting away with scams and really not getting in trouble because there's no laws about it. So
Wild West.
Yeah, it is the Wild West in crypto. You'll never hear me say that there needs to be regulation for anything in life, but I do think there needs to be some legal clarity.
Yeah.
Clarity regulatory clarity when it comes to crypto, if we want to move forward.
It's necessary, because there ain't going to be mass adoption if it's going to stay like outlaws.
Right.
If we're going to build cities, right, we need people to have a consensus of what that entails, right? We need to have law enforcement, we need to have firefighters, we need to have a couple of things for cities to be built. Right. So nobody wants.
A shitcoin is like a city with just one person in the middle of it.
It's a village. Not even.
It's just a big picture of a city, like the road
backdrop.
Yeah, the road runner runs into the wall to the picture of the tunnel. That's what a shitcoin is.
And then you see a barren wasteland through the paper. Yeah. No, it's totally true. You make great points about that too, man. And I mean, like, all of this, especially something like Gollum with we're talking like decentralized computing power.
Yes.
Being able to, you have a project you're working on, let's say a movie render, for example, right? And you're just like, well, okay, I got to render this movie that I just made. Okay, let's upload it to Gollum and let's have a bunch of other computers help with the rendering. Boom. And it's done. And it's like, holy crap, it works. It actually works. They actually tested it. That you can see it happen on the Gollum YouTube. They have it there.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
there's a lot of protocols that piece by piece we are building the new internet. That's what's happening before our eyes.
Yeah.
Piece by piece, we're building the new internet. We built file sharing.
Yeah.
We built money transfer. We built amazing DeFi automated market making systems, synthetic asset systems. We built NFT systems, unique ownership systems. We built decentralized, unstoppable domain names. Uh, all these little pieces are going to come together one day, and the new internet's going to be finished,
Yeah.
and it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. And it could very well be, you know, even in our lifetimes, I think it's growing so fast. Um, the way it's going, a blockchain's going to be here, I think, for eternity at this point. Um,
Blockchain's growing faster than the internet.
yeah, it's going to be a technology. Like I think this is what cements humans uh, to be able to live for an eternity. Like this kind of tech. This is the building block to everything that happens in the future. Like the concept of it, having something that doesn't need a centralized force. Because
Right.
how are people? Let's just talk about this for a second. Let's get a little sci-fi with it. How are
Sure.
people going to share information from Earth to Mars and beyond? They're going to trust an entity to do that? No, it's going to be interoperable, decentralized information that's recorded on the entire network of internet of humans. That's
Right.
just how it's going to have to be,
Right.
because
So
you're gonna talk.
information,
Yeah, what is this
all
one
information is going to
federation? We're
be on a
talking about
blockchain.
the Empire Strikes Back is going to like manage the entire data of everybody. That's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen. That's
We don't like the word trust, and
yeah.
we're done with the word trust. Human beings as a species, we do not want to trust anymore, especially, you know, in this capitalist age, the gap between the rich and the poor, the K-shaped recovery, the poor are getting poorer while the rich are getting richer.
Yeah.
We don't want to trust anybody. We don't want to have to trust anybody. We don't want a middleman. We want to custody our own wealth,
Yeah.
and we want to be in control of our own wealth. We don't want to give it to a bank. A bank gives you nothing for interest. If you keep your money if you do what your grandparents told you and just save every dollar you make in the bank account, you're going to be down like 90% by the time you're retiring. You
Yeah.
have to invest the money. You
Yeah.
have to invest the money.
Compare
And
compare like yield with a CD, like one maybe it's less than, it's like 0.5%, and you got something like Anchor on Terra at 20%. Like
20%. Even when Luna
what?
crashed, Luna crashed 74%.
Yeah.
And in a 74% crash, it still maintained a 19% APY and quickly went right back up to 20. Sometimes it's 22, 24%. It's an amazing piece of DeFi. The Anchor protocol on Luna, amazing.
Yeah. No, I mean inflation, stagflation, all of that is this is a huge reason why there are so many people looking to first they're looking at Bitcoin because that's the most readily available and most popular one, but it's the further you go down the rabbit hole, the more you see the real beauty that's behind this space. People who don't understand call anybody in crypto like a degenerate, And quite rightfully so. We're happy to be degenerates if it means that we're controlling our own future. You know what I mean? So that I look at it as that's why we're still so early. We're still so early because the idea, well, really not even the idea. It's just mass adoption is not here yet. It's not here yet. But I think that's the next big giant bull cycle to the general space, right? We might see the, well, I still believe we're still in a bull cycle, but we're going to see this bull cycle run its course and all that, and this is going to gain the attention for, I think, the next bull cycle that comes in, which is going to be a major play where we're going to see really a big amount of mass adoption, because right now they're all making the moves. Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, or you can pay, Tesla or whatever. Even though they kind of do whatever, but it's all coming together right now. But it's not implemented yet, not on a mass scale.
Visa's commercial. Have you seen it? It says Bitcoin, the best money we've ever had.
I did not. That's pretty cool though.
That's playing in every language in every country on TV. Bitcoin, the best money we've ever had.
Wow.
Venezuela.
Oh my God. we haven't even seen mass adoption yet. Wait till that happens, man.
Yeah.
That's why this whole space is bullish long term.
Yeah.
It's long term, man. It is the best money we've ever had. It's so true.
You're not just bullish on crypto one day and not bullish the next day based on price movements. You're either bullish on crypto or you're not.
Right. Most of the time, people who are not, they just don't really understand it.
And just remember, the $10 in free Bitcoin Coinbase used to give away is now worth like $30,000. So just the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah,
I think people are worried about what governments are going to do. What are governments going to do? What are they going to do?
And they do.
They can't stop it. They can ban it, but they can't stop it.
Right, it's decentralized.
Right. They can say banks are not allowed to custody it. They could shut down U.S. exchanges, but we have decentralized exchanges. We don't even need centralized exchanges anymore at all. We don't need them. The only reason we use them is for a fiat gateway.
Right.
So that could, but some Pirate Bay type fiat gateway will pop up in the absence of centralized exchanges if it gets banned. Nothing, they can't stop us from downloading movies.
Yeah. Yeah, they couldn't stop torrents.
Right.
So what are you going to do about this?
From having financial freedom? I care way more about my financial freedom, my financial sovereignty, than I do about music and movies.
Right.
And they couldn't stop that.
People are waking up now. It's, okay, you could say, it began with Napster, and LimeWire and all that kind of stuff, right?
It did.
You could say that. I think that's a fair case because people started to see that they did not necessarily have to go to a record store or whatever to get something that they wanted or anything that they wanted, right? They could download it on the internet and find a way to get it. Nowadays,
not only that, Napster wasn't a server. It wasn't it was decentralized. You hosted every user hosted little pieces of the file on their machines, and it was a DLT, distributed ledger. Basically, it was a decentralized system. It was like an early precursor to Bitcoin. I've always said that.
Yeah, the term for it was, I think, seeding, right?
Yeah, seeding in BitTorrent. Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a similar concept of mining,
Staking. Yeah.
And staking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what it is now. It's just a different word for it, but it's been around.
mining because I guess it's more like mining because you're using your computer power.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was earning necessarily rewards for it, not until really BitTorrent started to make their own, crypto for it. But yeah, the technology was set; it was paving the way. Is basically what we're getting at here, and
Yeah, yeah. It
you know,
was. It was that was a foreshadowing.
yeah,
I'm sure
you know,
Satoshi got inspiration from BitTorrent.
definitely.
I know he did. Yeah.
He was he or they were
They,
definitely
yeah, they,
they were definitely involved in doing something like that before. Combine that with technology from the NSA, and they were like, okay, they saw an opportunity to create something that was sort of a Napster equivalent for finance, and lo and behold, we got Bitcoin. So I
yeah,
mean, not that's just speculation. Honestly, we're just saying that, but that's what I truly believe. I truly believe that they saw the writing was on the wall. That this is something that is going to lead the charge in how the normal person take control of their financial lives. They don't rely on something that is held by an institution. It's
yeah.
all held by you and me, each other. We hold it up, but it's trustless. I don't have to trust you to give me
Right.
the right information. It's the computer.
It's no coincidence that the white paper was launched right at a moment when people doubted fiat currency a lot during the financial crisis after the
Definitely
after
no
the,
coincidence.
after the government allowed banks to to basically put people in homes that they couldn't afford for years and
They bailed them out.
yeah, and they bailed out the banks.
Yeah. And everybody was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, how about the people that got got head over underwater with debt
Yeah.
because of the houses that the person that sold them the mortgage knew they weren't going to be able to afford it. They sassed people up, took them out to eat, told them everything they wanted to hear, told them
Rug pulled.
the bigger the loan you take out, the better. That's what they told people. The bigger the house, the better.
Rug pulled them all.
And yeah, it was a rug pull.
Yeah.
And then the government bailed out the people that made the most money off of it.
Thank you,
So
Bitcoin.
yeah, so that's when Bitcoin came. That's
Yeah.
when the white paper dropped. When people were at peak distrust in the system, in fiat currency. The bailout was a ton of money printing,
Yeah.
and another reason crypto pumped since March of 2020 was the massive money printing. Crypto's directly tied to the distrust in fiat.
Absolutely. I
So
mean,
things are going to eventually get priced in crypto. They're just going to have to.
there's no end to this, making the money machine go burr. There's no end. Like, the sovereignty of the United States is at peril because of it. We're looking. Honestly, I gotta say, I got a lot of respect for what the Chinese are doing, man. The Chinese, they got their own thing, but like, they're playing some 4D chess right now. The fact
Yeah,
that they're doing their digital yuan thing
yeah,
is huge.
yeah.
That is huge. And
We're
recently
doing the same.
people have kind of, some people I think have kind of forgotten about the digital yuan, but that's something to keep an eye on because they're positioning themselves to be involved in a way bigger way that I think we know.
Right.
And
I think all
that's
the governments are.
well, I don't know about all,
I
but
the Fed's working on a CBDC.
That's why I don't think all governments are necessarily working on their own, but that's why I think we see things like El Salvador do things with Bitcoin, right? So if they don't got the resources to do it, they're gonna hop on board. You know, uh, China, Russia, U.S., UK, whatever, they've got resources to do, like the digital British pound or these kinds of things. But you got like Kazakhstan and or like Panama, like they're not going to do all of that. I think what they're going to do is they're going to hop on board the
Right.
cryptocurrency hype train. They're,
Yeah.
they're gonna legalize it. They're gonna use it to their advantage to bring more wealth to their country that way.
I think a lot of countries are going to, instead of going with CBDC, they're going to adopt Bitcoin.
Yeah, because it gives them actually a lot more benefit. If they're trying to set up institutions that do all of these stable coins and stuff like that, they already have something that's working. So just adopt what's already working that will help elevate the markets of their country. I think it's way smarter for a country like El Salvador to get on board with Bitcoin than try and create their own digital currency. That to me makes no sense for why they would do it, right? Because they need to leverage the power of other countries to make it even worth it. So they already got something decentralized. They can use that to their advantage.
It shows a lot about El Salvador's leadership and intentions.
Yeah.
Because the main reason to want to create a CBDC or create your own country's fiat currency is to be able to control it.
Right.
So it shows that El Salvador is not trying to control their currency. They're accepting Bitcoin as legal tender. I'm not sure that means that they're switching to Bitcoin as the money.
No, it's a way to leverage upon. So the fact that all of their citizens can have access to Bitcoin allows the entire country's net worth to elevate, right? Because they could ride it up with Bitcoin.
Right.
So if everybody has a little bit, just hold it, work with it, let the government hold it. That's it, whatever. And the government can be leveraged against what they're currently at right now and gain a ton of money for it. That's the way they're going to go. These smaller countries, they're just going to adopt Bitcoin.
Yeah.
US, Canada, Australia, whatever, those guys, they might decide to want to control it because they have a lot more to worry about.
Well, the U.S. has went to war multiple times over issuing power of the USD.
I mean, for the U.S., it makes more sense because you have stable coins that are trying to peg to the U.S. dollar. So why not just have a digital U.S. dollar and make it official? So that makes a lot more sense to me. But like Panama, these other places, it doesn't make sense.
I'm not in love with the idea of digital dollar.
I think it's inevitable, though.
It's gonna be because USDT gives me 6% APY.
Yeah.
The digital dollar is not. The digital dollar is going to lose value. I'm not going to want to hold the digital dollar.
Right.
And it scared me what Jerome Powell said about cryptocurrencies. And he said that they are making a stable coin and that it will make cryptocurrencies useless. Basically what he said.
That's a lot of FUD. I don't know.
He doesn't understand crypto.
Yeah, he doesn't understand crypto.
If you make a China has a CBDC, and the Chinese are still one of the biggest buyers of the cryptocurrencies.
Right.
Biggest investors.
Yeah. No, I think other stable coins will still remain. I think like Terra USD, UST. I think there's not going to be a lot of change with that. I think because the key point is that unless there are certain regulations that follow in regards to stablecoins on how they can be operated, um, UST is programmable by Terra to do certain things. That's
Is UST the decentralized stablecoin?
yeah. Well, that's the stablecoin that's built on Terra Luna.
Right? Is it decentralized?
Yeah,
That's what we need. We need a decentralized stablecoin, one that's not
absolutely.
controlled by Circle or Tether or a company.
Yeah, exactly. So
That we can verify on the blockchain that it's backed 1-to-1.
yeah, exactly. Um, that's that these other iterations of stablecoins. They serve a purpose as even places like Celsius. They have their own version of a stablecoin. It has like kind of like Aave too,
Right.
right? They have the little A, and then they have the actual
Right.
ticker next to it, but that's just a derivative in order to do certain protocol transactions on the platform. So it's just a representation of what it is.
Right.
I don't think that's something that's going to change all that much again, unless there's an entire consensus among countries that say, okay, this is how stable coins are going to be working, and you can't do certain things about that. I don't know how that gets implemented, but it's something to watch for, right? Yeah, stable coins are a real thing in question right now. The whole thing about Tether, and Circle is really being sort of the forefront of making sure that USDC is kind of leading the charge in becoming the stablecoin that is adopted mainstream right now. Um, Tether has a lot of issues with there's allegations of bank fraud right now. Um, that's kind of if you're holding in Tether, you might want to think about a different stable coin to hold on to. I mean, you got DAI, you got USDC, you got a couple choices there.
Yeah. I got into USDC because they regularly report their holdings. They're backed.
Yeah, that's important.
They're more than 1-to-1.
It's important.
It is important.
There needs to be transparency on that front.
But I'm also trusting Circle, and I don't like that. So it's going to be a decentralized stablecoin that becomes the number one stablecoin, in my opinion.
Did you read the white paper for Cardano stablecoin?
I did not.
JED, DJED. It's filled with crazy mathematics, but it's a completely
algorithm.
Yeah. Yes, very much so. It's about like 70 pages of just algorithms, just on the paper, and it's crazy how automated it is. It's totally decentralized. It's amazing.
Cardano's great.
Cardano is great. Yeah,
and Charles is 33. It's insane. He's going to do a lot. He's in his prime. So,
I mean, who knows what the world's going to look like when he's freaking 70. I hope he lives that long, man.
Well, I want to see what Cardano does. I was just on Twitter today and saw so many people still calling Cardano vaporware.
Hey man, when ADA makes its move up, we'll see what's vaporware or not.
It was smart 5 contracts last year. People are just mad that they didn't get in on the gains.
Yeah, that's all right. Time in is better than timing in.
Yeah.
So just get in.
Time in.
Welcome aboard. Hey,
time
look,
in
man.
The market is better than timing.
I wish when COVID hit that I went straight into crypto, but you know what?
Too.
You know what, man?
Scared.
I just wasn't aware of it. You know what? I had totally forgotten about it. 2017, I got into crypto a little bit, but I was not in the right mindset. I was totally looking at it as a gambling thing. I was like, this is fun, you know. I
Right.
lost a little money here and then I get pulled out. I was a young kid. And then
Right.
I you know, later on, you know, we get into 2021 and now for all of a sudden it comes back roaring in my life. And I'm like, holy crap, like what's this all about? Bitcoin is doing crazy things right now.
Yeah, it's
It
going
got
up
my
like
attention.
20% a day for months.
Yeah.
It was going up.
And you know what actually really would really brought my attention to crypto this time around was NFTs, because I'm in the music industry.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, this is
Permission.
amazing. And I had no idea that it was actually related to all of crypto. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now this is something that's very interesting to me. But had I known in 2020, I would have had massive gains right now. You know what
Yeah.
but that
Had we known.
you know, but that's
Had we
always
known.
going to be the case. Had I known in 2017, hell, had I known when I graduated high school, had I known. But we can't live like that, right? We only got now, and it's hey, you're gonna jump in now, or you're gonna wait till later when it's higher.
Yeah.
You might as well jump in now, even if it's like all-time highs, and just hold.
Over a year ago, I posted that my top 8 pick video.
Wow.
One of them in there was Aave.
Oh, wow.
I had a small position, tiny. If I had just a little bit bigger of a position, 80,000% in 1 year.
Oh God.
And I sold way too soon. I sold way too soon. I said, this is coming back. This is no way it's going to keep going. But if I had just put $100 into Aave, which was chump change, when I made that video, I would have what? That'd be $8 million.
This is. You know what, man?
Am I right?
This is exactly why. Yeah, this is exactly why I say my philosophy of investing in crypto is invest first your foundational layer for the long haul.
Yeah.
Let it stake, let it do whatever it is, just so that it could accumulate.
If you want to play with,
yeah. After that, play around with a little bit other funds, you know, to try and do that. You know, because you're going to regret that you didn't hold something.
All of them. You're going to regret
eventually.
All of them. Every
you know,
every sale. I scroll through sometimes when I want to see what life could have been like.
Yeah.
I scroll through my old order book and I see what I sold. I see the prices I sold at 2-3 years ago.
Man. Oh God. That just gets you another beer is all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So yeah, what coulda, shoulda. And you know what? Hey, you're here now. We're still early. Remember, it's not we're not in anywhere close to a mass adoption run right now.
No, and there's still 1,000xers. There's still these new cryptos popping up every day. New Ethereum tokens.
Yeah.
New blockchains like Phantom and Solana, but there's new micro caps launching all the time.
Yeah.
And a good strategy is to maybe throw $10 into 100 different little tiny 2 million market cap projects that you think look promising, and sleep on it just forget about it a year.
Yeah.
And if 99 of those are failures and only one of those is 1,000x, you just made a ton of money, life-changing money off of $10.
Yeah. That would have otherwise gone to zero from inflation.
Right.
You know,
it's just no interest in USD is a shit coin.
Yeah.
USD has terrible tokenomics.
Yeah.
I don't like
definitely.
Definitely, I don't like the governance.
We don't like the governance of USD.
They don't even have They don't even have a governance
Yeah.
proposal area.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I don't like how. I suspect that it's centralized.
Yep. Yep. I totally get that.
I don't like its inflation rate.
Yeah, dude.
I
All
don't
of
like the fact that it's not immutable, and I don't like the fact that it's not a cryptocurrency.
yeah. Um
It's
we're,
better
we're
to hold Dogecoin. It's way smarter to hold Dogecoin than US dollars.
yeah, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
um look, man, it's what we're talking about is again, it goes back to this awakening of, 2021 is a really important year. It's the year I think that people started to really take crypto a lot more seriously on a larger scale. It's a milestone year in the grand scheme of things. Especially seeing countries like El Salvador do its thing. That's really pivotal in the growth of something like Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's
Um,
being taken seriously. Amazon tested Phantom.
yeah, I saw
Google,
that.
Google's running validators for Theta. You
Yep.
know, big tech's getting into it.
Yep.
Apple just put out a job for a crypto developer. What are they doing? We know Facebook made Libra,
Yep.
and for some reason that was the only one that the government stepped in immediately and said no. Anyone can make a crypto. I can make a crypto. Atari can make a crypto, but Facebook tries to make a crypto.
Let's not even get into Atari, man.
I don't.
That's
I do not recommend.
yeah, not financial advice, but
Financial advice in my
steer
personal
clear.
opinion. Atari.
Yeah,
I would do your research
yeah.
and try not to get banned from the Telegram for asking too many questions.
Oh God, oh my God. I only shared one thing. That was it. That's all it took. That's all it took. Yeah. Okay.
I
Anyway,
I asked where the team wallets were at, and
don't shoot.
and
Oh
yeah,
my God,
yeah.
Jesus. But
Every day someone's getting banned. But
hey, you know what, man? It goes like this. Sometimes, I heard this on Digital Asset News. You know Digital Asset News.
yeah, Dan.
Uh, uh, yeah, Rob, the host, he mentioned this. It's like sometimes we think we're better than than others for and not getting into scams, but sometimes you never know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
that looks like. It might look incredibly legitimate.
yeah.
Um,
There's a lot of examples.
you know, there's a lot of examples. We're not going to name them, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
yeah,
So we're just you know what happens, and you know what you take your loss, and that's it. You move on.
yeah,
You can't dwell on it. Just like you can't dwell on the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. You just move forward, and
yeah,
you learn. You learn along the way. That's what all of this is. That's why it's called the Wild West of finance right now, because nobody knows how to navigate the waters of this shit. It's crazy. It's like
yeah,
tidal waves here, tidal waves there, and
yeah.
riptides and fucking maelstroms all over the fucking place. It's like, how the hell do I do this thing? But
Yeah,
you keep going.
I woke up this morning to a $950 in ETH deposit
That's awesome.
into my wallet. I checked the wallet where it came from. I don't know who it is. It has a lot of ETH in it, and it's sending out ETH to wallets like it's like crazy. So
Well, that reminds me of that hack with what was it, Rune or Thorchain?
yeah,
That happened recently. That they rug pulled everybody. They took everything, but they left a note, kindly left a note, and was just like, hey. You should take a little bit more time in building something that's actually secure, because if you're going to mess
yeah,
around with a lot of money,
yeah,
um, it should be secure. So you know what? This is your lesson, and that's what we call an
Yeah.
ethical hacker.
Mhm.
Um,
Well,
sort of.
a lot of hacks are going to happen because there's a lot of new blockchains launching DeFi and things.
They're trying to rush.
Well, it's just the fact that people are smart. This is all open source code, and very smart people get to browse GitHub for vulnerabilities in smart contracts and in blockchains, and they're there. They're always there.
Yeah. And
There's
that's why
always
people,
vulnerabilities.
that's one of the things why I love things like Cardano, because it's rigorously tested before it gets pulled onto the mainnet.
Well, the real test is going to be when they launch smart contracts. I got a strong hunch that a whole lot of Ethereum developers are going to try to hack it immediately.
I bet.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna fail. I believe in the process that they're moving along forward with Cardano. Also, you got to remember that Cardano is building on Plutus, and
Right.
it's not building on Solidity.
Right.
So it's an entire code that they have to learn Haskell from. It's
Nope.
it's totally
Yeah.
formal. So that's also helping with security.
Yeah, I think there's going to be hacks, but Cardano will quickly patch them up
I think
because
they're going to be ahead of the curve for most of that.
yeah. I mean, these Ethereum developers, they've had the past 6 years to become very good at what they do.
Yeah.
And they're already programmers that are very good at other things that they do in programming. They probably, a lot of them know Haskell and can learn Haskell in one night and know what they're, three languages, you kind of know them all just by looking at them. And as more protocols pop up and more GitHubs pop up, there's going to be more vulnerabilities noticed by very smart people, and they're going to get taken. They're going to get hacked. But it teaches a lesson. It helps security.
That's why, companies do that all the time. They hire hackers to actually hack their stuff so that they can see where are the holes. It's totally true, man. But look, I mean, we're going to see a very exciting, sequence of events in the coming months. Especially, I think September is going to be a very bullish month. End of August into the fall, of end of September is going to be very cool.
January is usually a very good month for Ethereum.
So yeah, end of this year, I think it's going to be a very different story from what we've been seeing during the summer.
Yeah. I'm just accumulating the, not the meme coins, not the shit coins, not the super large caps either. I'm just accumulating the smaller projects that I think are going to do well.
Top 100.
Yeah.
There's like a nice sweet spot there.
Between
a couple
50 and 500 million.
Yeah. Those are really exciting. I can't wait to see a project like Affinity come out. It was in an ICO phase. And it hasn't made a public release just yet, but I was very interested because I've been accumulating Engine recently, and I looked a little bit more into their future plans on what they're doing, and
Awesome.
Engine
Awesome.
2.0
Yeah.
is going to be proof of stake, not proof of work, and it's going to you can stake Engine to earn Efinity, and Efinity is the Polkadot parachain,
Right.
essentially version of Engine, which is really very cool.
Yeah, because Ethereum as it is doesn't work in games.
Right.
It's too expensive, especially if you want the entire game, the entire foundation of the game on blockchain, which no games really need. You really only need the items and characters and
Right.
the class system and your money system, all
Or
that stuff.
saves.
Yeah, yeah.
Saving
Save
games
the game.
cross. You know.
High scores on the blockchain, so no one can tamper with them and whatnot.
Right.
But the game engine itself doesn't need to be blockchain.
Right.
It would take a very Solana could pull that off. Solana could probably pull that off. It's the fastest. I'm really bullish on Solana. I think,
It's such an amazing project.
yeah, I think it's about to do really big things. And they took a different approach. They they're not they didn't go Ethereum uh, compatible. They figured they'd get better quality developers if these developers took the time to learn. I think it's Rust.
Yeah.
So they program in, and they're doing amazing things. It's so easy to develop on. It's so fast. It's so cheap. And they're like Phantom. They just keep on going and going. They're not stopping. They're making partnerships.
Yeah.
So the projects I'm looking at are Phantom, Harmony One, Luna, Theta,
Solana.
Solana, and Algorand seems like a good project.
Algorand's been around for a while too.
Yeah, yeah, and they got smart contracts,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be a lot more popping up. There's gonna be a lot more.
Yeah, and I don't think we should forget about other industries like VeChain.
Yeah,
VeChain's awesome. Avalanche, Aave.
Avalanche, yeah.
And in terms, we were talking about Affinity and NFTs, but I'm also really, really bullish on Omi.
Yeah.
That's a really good project. The team behind Omi is amazing. I mean, their head of licensing is Alfred Kahn, the guy who brought Pokemon to the Americas.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
and they got the licenses
and Yu-Gi-Oh,
DC and Marvel.
Yeah, they
like
just got Marvel. They just hosted Comic-Con at home this year on their VV Metaverse. So they're doing big things. Omi is definitely one to look for.
VV Metaverse?
Yeah. VV, as in VEVE. That's a 4-letter word.
Is that was it hosted in the Metaverse?
Yeah.
Cool.
Kind of like a Decentraland, but it was like a higher quality looking Decentraland,
Really?
If you could picture a little bit more of like more of the modern graphics kind of, take Decentraland, put more modern graphics to it.
Yeah, that's what Decentraland needs. Like Decentraland has been around for quite a long time now, and it just still looks the same.
Right.
I'm not too bullish on it.
Right.
It doesn't seem like they're doing a lot. I'll probably get a lot of hate for saying that. Just they're doing this and that. They're accomplishing more than you.
Yeah, I mean, look, the concept of Decentraland is amazing.
Oh yeah, decentralized world on the blockchain is an amazing idea.
You got to. The thing about games is that it is a love or hate thing because some people they like the style of art that is, and some people don't.
Well, we need a decentralized world that has better graphics, period, and more functionality. Better graphics, more functionality, character customization, items, all this stuff that you don't see in Decentraland. You really don't.
Right.
It looks more like Minecraft.
Exactly. Yeah. I think
we need something like Grand Theft Auto looking.
This is just again speculation, but I think Ecomi, not that they're building a game like that, but they are building a metaverse that is of a similar caliber that would be more like of a museum of showpieces. to be in an NFT world.
I could see a virtual art gallery. That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Lots of collectors,
Like
people like my brother, for example, collects statues, but he doesn't have a house big enough to display all of them. But now he
auction.
can in Vivi.
How about rich people's auctions? They love their
Yeah,
auctions. How about a
totally.
virtual world? You put on your little
Yeah.
rich person VR goggles, and you go and you sit in your chair in the virtual world, and you see that piece of art, and you raise your little thing.
Mark my words, the Mona Lisa will be an NFT one day, and somebody will own it on the metaverse.
Probably.
You know?
The thing that's weird about NFTs though is like I can create a masterpiece. I can have a Picasso.
Yeah.
I can own it. I can take a picture of it, make it an NFT, and sell that Picasso, one of a kind. But I still have my Picasso. It's still mine, the real one.
Yeah.
You're buying a picture. You're buying a fucking picture.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, I really don't get. I get it, but I don't. I don't. I don't.
Well,
NFTs are going to steamroll DeFi. They're going to come in to DeFi and totally rock the boat.
well, it's all about a collector fan base, man.
Yeah.
That's just an entire marketplace that we don't necessarily have to understand.
Right.
We just have to acknowledge that it's there, and it's gonna
like
be a force.
Yeah.
So I may not be the one who collects NFTs, but I damn well know there are people who are gonna go ape shit over NFTs. So that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know, right?
Yeah. So you want to own a piece of the platform that's going to be providing them.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I don't have to be a customer of it, but I can be involved in the foundation of it.
I don't think I'd ever try to flip NFTs, like buy them, because I think they're going to be more valuable in the future. Unless it's certain things that only exist digitally and are rare and do have value. Yeah. Like let's say Quentin Tarantino made a new movie but only sold it to one person in an NFT. I'd buy that if I can get my hands on it because I could resell it for more.
Right.
That's a bad example, but things of that nature.
Get it.
And when there's a marketplace on Aave or synthetics that you can take your house, the deed of your house that you own, tokenize it, and put it on a marketplace, or use it as collateral to borrow crypto, or tokenize your boat, or tokenize your nice fancy classic car to use as collateral in DeFi. That's going to be a game changer. It really is.
It is inevitable.
Yeah. I'm so bullish on synthetics too. Synthetic assets are a huge market. They're one of the biggest market in the whole world.
Yeah, that's definitely another project to look at too. Synthetics with an X at the end. That's great project.
That was in my top 8 last year, along with Monero.
Yep.
What else was in there? Theta.
All of them did great.
They all did great. Yeah, they did.
So, yeah, no, I mean, I think you mentioned it in another video, but we're all going to be laughing at our gains next year.
Yeah. I think I said the fuck you money is in our wallets right now. We just don't realize it yet. The fuck you money is sitting in our wallets right now. Right. We just don't see the future price.
Right.
We see today's price. Go to just watch, find some good TV shows to binge out on for the next 5 years and relax.
There's plenty of that.
Yeah, I always say the coins that I really like, I'll buy it to the sky and I'll buy it to the dirt. I will just keep buying and buying because it's not about the price it is today. It's about the price it's going to be in the future, and I want as much as possible. I don't want to be that guy that stopped buying when the price was $100 and now it's $1,000. I want to be that guy that stopped buying because I bought a bunch real cheap. I'm going to end up making a lot more money if I continue to buy as it goes up.
Right. Absolutely, man. Well, for those of you watching, don't forget, subscribe, like, and if you're interested in getting involved with the Crypto Lodge, join the Telegram, t.me/ was it Crypto Lodge?
It's t.me/the Crypto Lodge, all lowercase.
The Crypto Lodge.
And yeah, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter if you're watching on Periscope. Click whatever buttons you got on whatever platform you're watching on. And listening to this on Spotify or something. Thanks for listening to the whole thing.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. As always.
If you made it this far, you like us. You like us. You like us.
Absolutely, man.
So
thanks for your time, brother.
Yeah, I'll see you, Ken.
All right, later.